Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here again on an amazing, amazing Saturday to go ahead and provide another edition of World of Ability. This is our flagship program with the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Sue Roskoff, and we are here every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central. And we have some great people joining us today. As always, we absolutely love to have our friends coming on in and sharing all the greatest things that are happening in the world of ability. And I'm going to quick mention if you don't have next weekend on your calendar yet, oh my gosh, you need to be around Saturday, next Saturday, 1 week from today, exactly now, 1 week from today. I can't believe it's going to be here this quick already. It is an amazing event. It's a telethon. Telethon. Oh my God. You will not believe the entertainment that's going to be on this event. It is 8 hours long. It will be on June 7th, 2025, starting at 11 a.m. Central and running for 8 hours. The fun part for us, 2 hours of it is literally with us, with our friends, with our connections, with all the things related to Project Die Hard. The telethon itself is the Veterans First Initiative. And we will dive in a bit more later on and share more details. But just know that during this time, we'll be playing a live broadcast of that telethon that's going to be happening. That we have the 1 to 3 slot actually is with us with Project Die Hard. And I'm so excited for all the people that are going to be on and all the fun we're going to have and hopefully all the money that's going to be raised to help our vets. So with that, I'm going to switch gears here a bit and introduce some friends that are in the house. We have the lovely, the wonderful, the Barbie girl today. We've got Marianne of Waikiki joining us. How you doing, Marianne?
Well, hola and aloha. Yes, I'm a Barbie girl today. So go out and play as our tagline. Yeah, we're having fun here in San Carlos, Mexico. The weather's picking up. We've been working on the sailboat to go out sailing, and because soon next weekend is the Ocean Cleanup Organization's World Water Ocean Cleanup Day as well. So we have some amazing videos to share. And we also partner with Clean Water Foundation, Leon McLaughlin, who'll be joining us a little bit later in videos. And well, we dedicated our fourth book to Leon, and so you have video, so that can
I
really
do.
shine the story more of us together here on the World of Ability and our uh, creative works here. And yes, so we'll also be featuring a free book, ebook download of my first book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring the General of the New Earth Army, and we'll play that a little bit later. And that will be available for free. Ebook download next week. I want to support Jay Stoyan. A little story about Jay Stoyan and I was last year I won the Awesome Grant Foundation Award, Oahu chapter, Honolulu, Hawaii, and I won $1,000. So we hired Jay Stoyan, who hires persons with disabilities in Toronto, and they have 32 million subscribers there. Last fall, he interviewed me for several months with Santa Papa John, our social media influencer with the Acts of Kindness series. And we also gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit with Clean Water Foundation. Leon McLaughlin was there on campus with the deaf principal and sign language interpreters. I was via Zoom. I was in Canada. And we gave them the Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bully books. So I really got to meet Jay Stoyan, and what an amazing person he is. Great to interview you and doing so much for the community up there. And Sue and Kurt, I did apply for the Awesome Foundation Grant Toronto chapter for $1,000 to bring water units to the veterans facilities up there in Toronto. So we still haven't heard word yet from them, but it's out there to the universe, and our arms are open wide to receive $1,000 to multiply these acts of kindness series. And I know you too, and Kurt, you've done Awesome Foundation on the water to get adaptive skis or use that $1,000. And I told Bruce, the bird guy, about it, and I said, you should apply, because Bruce is a retired veteran who transitioned over in the island of Oahu to where I met him. He was doing bird shows at Sea Life Park, and we got to do an educational program for the youth day over there. And So I told Bruce, you should apply for $1,000. You're outgoing, giving community service to senior homes with your birds and bird therapy. So this is a great opportunity for us to shine the light of what we have worked for and what we're doing now in the community. So I want to introduce Bruce. Thank you, Bruce, for being of service. This past Monday, we celebrated Memorial Day, and I have friends that were in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine over there. I got to sign. I was a sign language interpreter for Marcia Joyner, the Chamber of Commerce with Persons with Disabilities, who's no longer this planet. She'd invite me down to always be at the events at Kapolani Park. I got to interpret sign language for the Air Force band, and wow, 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 wow. And she'd always like bring the puppets down, and everybody in the bandstand was sitting there dancing, and we put out the puppets, and people were dancing with them, and we just had great, great fun and prayers. And she's no longer with us, but what a great opportunity. I was introduced to the Chamber of Commerce in Honolulu, Hawaii, and got to do a lot of amazing events. Also, at the Fort Schaffner Army, I was brought up there also too to entertain with Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken during a lunch buffet, a thank you. And yeah, we put those puppets on the tables, and DJ Benny was there and would introduce and play a song and introduce a puppet name for me. And then people would get up and dance. And then the family members would start playing with the puppets and putting their in their heads and then their hairs. And they were so go out and playing with each other. It brought in good family fun and communication. So I just those memories are coming back. I didn't really get to share them last week because I was traveling on location in San Carlos with Captain Carla, and she is a retired veterans nurse for 20 years of service. So on that Memorial Day, we all sat, and Kathleen too, and made a nice table and talked story about their work. And Kathleen's father was in the military, and I explained I dated a retired Navy diver who cleaned up explosives around the Hawaiian Islands. And Bruce, I didn't get to share this story too. So in 2017, I actually sailed Southwest Florida to Virginia with him, 91 days in a Beneteau sailboat that he bought. And my mouth dropped going through the ICW, sailing by the Navy fleet. And I went, oh my God, my heart just dropped. And it was just amazing to see what protection we have, what we have, these amazing veterans who have served us and protected us. And I'm here to advocate about hearing loss because we have over a half a billion people now with a hearing loss, and we have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. And I also had an opportunity to meet with the chief of audiology at Tripler Army Medical Hospital up there on the island of Oahu when I was writing my second book. And she read the first book, and the second part was in a draft. And she cried, and she loved it, tears of joy. And we were trying to get some grants up there. And again, we're going to continue to get some more grants. And again, thank you, Awesome Grant Foundation, because we did gift the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit and the books. And Jay Stoyan, we hired him too. So we're getting the message out. And we couldn't have done that without you, Kurt Roscoff and Sue Roscoff, meeting through the Happy Neighborhood projects, through the pandemic, and continuing following and bringing great guests on here. So I just wanted to share that with you because I want to thank Bruce too. And Bruce can give us a little update about the vibration up there in Hawaii, the memorials over there, the floating of the lanterns. And I had some great sailor friends too that I lay at rest now, but great fun. I got to learn how to sail from them. And anyway, Bruce, I want to introduce you. Thank you for being of service in the Navy. If you want to share your background and how you transitioned to become the bird guy. And you met me and my deaf friend Scott. We got to do Sea Life Park Youth Day events with the puppets for ocean cleanup. Take it away, Bruce, the
Oh,
bird guy.
I'm not good at this kind of stuff. Anyway, no, I don't know. Everything's fine over here. Kind of rainy today, but no problem. A little bit of rain makes everything more greener. But there's no complaints on my side, so doing my parties on occasions. I got
How
some.
was Veterans Day? Tell us about Veterans Day over there. I mean, sorry,
Mm,
Memorial Day.
yeah, I didn't experience too much. I don't have anybody in cemeteries over here to go visit or anything, except for the unknown, and stuff like that. Where I live real close to the Punch Bowl. I'm sure that was a busy spot. Um, but I didn't partake in any of that. I stayed home and relaxed, I guess. Take care of my things that I have to do that I do on a daily basis. But I don't know. I don't have anything to say about that actually. But I live real close to Pearl Harbor, and again, I'm sure that was a busy spot too. But other than that, just being a veteran, that's I don't know. I don't. What can I say? But I'm staying busy doing my other stuff. I got something going on tomorrow at Eva Beach, big party, and then at the Blaisdell they're having some kind of function over there, a Hawaii Expo, and I'll be displaying all my stuff, my birds and everything over there. And that's a 2 day nonstop event at the Blaisdell Convention Center that we have here. And that's basically what I do. Decorate people with tropical birds and hopefully they don't bite anyone. But they're animals, anything can happen. But I stopped telling people they don't bite because they normally don't bite. But if you stick your finger down their throat, they would. And that's what people do when I say they don't bite. So kind of bizarre.
Well, yes, well, thank you. Yeah, so again, the Blaisdell tomorrow, what time to what time and how can people?
Blaisdell's on the 14th and 15th of June next month.
Oh, okay. And
But
you're
tomorrow I
working
do a
on your
party.
website? And you're working on a website? Did you connect
I
with
I think
Trevor?
Trevor's a really cool dude. Just by texting him back and or emailing him back and forth, he seems like he's gonna help me out a lot. I sent him. I asked him a bunch of questions about scam and spam emails that I get. Everything seems to be corrupt nowadays. You get all this crap on emails and text messages and stuff. And speaking of that, I calling up my Honda service, and it was $39 to change your oil and filter, and now they want $100. I hung up on them. I said, "You're ridiculous, boy! They really upped their price in a matter of a few months, maybe a year." And but anything. But anyway, back to Trevor. He's great, and I'm going to Zoom with him on Monday morning, and hopefully he'll
Nice.
get me a website again. And he seems really smart and knowledgeable and very helpful. I'm
Well, yeah, and
glad
we'll
you
be look
introduced me to him.
we'll be looking forward to him joining us too and joining the conversation, Kurt, of the development of the Bird Guys website. How cool is that?
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was wondering, Kurt, if you could share my website. Do we have time to do that? And that will show share the more of the story, and we highlight Trevor Gibbs. He makes sure websites are ADA compliant. And again, all classroom teachers can get copies of my books from donorschoose.org. So, Bruce, when I returned from that sailing journey, I was gone for 6 months, I would say, but really 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles southwest of Virginia. What a journey. That was not no cruise ship, Bruce. That was two of us.
That
And I
that's
made
got
it back. And I
that's
made it
got to be
back. And I made it back. And I ran into Marilyn Rogers, who's a retired special education teacher, and she's part of the All Right Family Band. And she introduced me to Donors Choose, and we met at Starbucks up there at Makaha, and she requested 50 books of my book, Underwater Acts of Kindness. And she was funded in 2 weeks. And so the children, well, the young students, I say, because they were all ages in special education, and they were reading the book, and they brought me out, and I did a presentation with the puppets, and it was so cute on campus. I'm walking and where's Dr. Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. And the principal was there, the other special education. We were the talk of the town, Bruce, just like the sophisticated hula. We were the talk of the town in that school that day, and we were talking about ocean cleanup and looking on the ground and finding 10 pieces of plastic if everybody does their part. Now, we also dedicate the book Underwater Acts of Kindness to Boynton Slat, and we are going to be celebrating with him Ocean Cleanup Day next week, Sunday. So we're trying to get as much information, documentaries that we have. They just sent me a newsletter. We're going to share a documentary about plastic pollution that they created. It's an animation. I don't want to say fun facts that you want to know, but it's a need to know thing of what has been happening. And our first book was about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and all this garbage was swirling around the sailboat, and we wanted to know why and where was it coming from. And it was coming from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And in 2017, no, let me back that up. I sailed in 2017. 1997, Captain Moore sailed in the Great Pacific, the Transpac sailboat race between California and Hawaii, and sailed through the soupy mess and recognized it. And that's with Moore Institute. And we have them also highlighted in the book. So these amazing people are doing good work to clean it up. The inventions from Boynton Slat. And yeah, so I wrote the book in what, 2016, and here we are almost a decade later and seeing all this happening. And Leon's over there networking, and CNN will not be recognizing the book. And well, we hope
I have your
Bravehearts will.
website up if you want to go through that. It's on the screen now.
Sure. Sure, awesome. And but we'll hopefully looking forward to Bravehearts Television helping us find sponsors this summer to bring the books into animation movies. So Sophie, you could be kind. I will show this website, which is a Hostinger website that Trevor Gibbs introduced me to. It costs $140 for 4-year program. I'm not sure if we're going to use money, but I'm just saying the cost savings, okay? And it's a one-time thing, and I love it. And I kept the domain name, so I still pay GoDaddy, but I was paying a couple $100 a month and not really seeing results.
Yeah, I had the same problem.
So, okay, it was a learning lesson. We have
Yeah.
books, and it really kind of more shares the story. I also hired EC Marketing, Christian Mendez, to actually help me put on clicks, the bells and the whistles. And it goes to the Amazon bookstore, to the Apple App Game Store, to the products and services. We've created T-shirts. And again, we'll see what Leon does with the marketing, with bringing the books to the future with his private equity company in Island. So, right, Kurt?
You
Kurt?
broke up bad on my side recently, seconds ago.
Okay. Release, relax, let go, and surrender, Kurt. That's what we're gonna release, relax, let go, and surrender. And here's the website. If you can so go out and play, Sue. So again, all classroom teachers, you're off for the summer. You can request copies of the books from donorschoose.org with a teacher ID. And thank you, Santa Papa John, for our social media influencer showcasing the books. We'll get the 4th book, Cool Acts of Kindness, over to him as well, maybe for some summer fun. And I'm finishing up working on one more video. Book trailer.
All that information can be found on actsofkindnessseries.com. Again, actsofkindnessseries.com. And there's everything you need to
Oh, there
know
we go.
is all right on there. You can see.
Yeah,
on
so there's the 4 books,
Yep.
and those are the tabs that EC Marketing put up. And they're colorful rainbows, and yeah, ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change. And we have Pono the Hawaiian Polo Pony. It is polo season there on the North Shore of Hawaii. So I didn't get to go out and play there, Sue, believe it or not, but my hands were flying, and I was signing, and Burst, the bird guy, can testify. He saw me with my hands a flying, not like a bird, but my hands were a flying. Birthday bird, man. Little fun and pun. So yes, If you want to scroll down, you can do that. So Trevor Gibbs, again, the web detective, made sure it's ADA compliant, EC marketing. We have links to the YouTube. He helped me upload the YouTube channel to learn the ABC ASL finger spelling alphabet. Oh, but bird guy, there's a bird right there. There's a lot of chickens running around on the island of Oahu, and this is Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, for Harry, the hard of hearing, and Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. So there's lots and lots of chickens running around and roosters. And there's the music, the soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. They're traveling Germany, New Zealand, and it's a great soundtrack. And hopefully Bravehearts Television will help us bring these into animation movies with sponsors. There's Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. He's got his own YouTube channel too, to learn the ABC ASL finger spelling alphabets. And there's all the clicks, the bells, the whistles there, Bruce. So had to put a little bit more investment in it. I couldn't do it myself, but EC Marketing did help it. There's a photo of me there with Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee, and the ASL finger spelling alphabet. And through the journey of creativity, we designed coloring books that are now up and ready and rocking and rolling. And thanks to Suzanne Sims and Fiber Graphics. And they helped me create these app games as online courses. There's Greta Gobbled on the golf course. There's another bird, the bird guy. And that's when I went to Waikoloa Village on the Big Island. All these turkeys were on the golf course, and they would come up and peck on the door. And so I was there, and we created Greta Gobble on the golf course, Waikoloa Village. And there's the coloring books.
Look, very nice.
And there's the whole series, the books, the apps. There's Leon. These are my Fiber graphic designers that put this is a set here so you can see the book, the app game, and the songs. There's a phone there with Lucy's soundtrack. So it's a great flyer. They've been creatively doing this for me. I love it. And they're in Pakistan, and they have over 6 million people now with a hearing loss. So again, it's it's unnecessary warfare that I believe. And there's the general of the New Earth Army. There's another friend that worked for the movies. And there's us at on the sailboat. There's me walking the beach for the photo shoot. And there's I got to think of where that is, but that's where Lucy and I played. And we had Dr. Ward Rafters. That was the attic there where we performed. Lucy performed, and I got to sign in. Well, there's my deaf friend Scott, and there's us with a vision to bring the books into animation movies. And so go out and playing on the beach. And we had a great time. So again, my hands were a flying, Burrs. I just got to use that because you got birds of a feather who fly together. Creative. So thank you, Sue. And anybody can join us on that website. Again, all classroom teachers can receive copies of the books. Now, Sue, there is a second page with Santa Papa John if we want to highlight them. He's also part of it. And I would love Bruce to be on his podcast, because Santa Papa John is not only a social media marketer on TikTok promoting the Acts of Kindness series, Bruce, he's also putting an updated list of contacts for veterans for community support programs. And we would love you to be on his podcast, and that's on Mondays. Now, Kurt, is that tomorrow or Monday?
Today's Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so we have this page dedicated to him, Sue. Thank you. If you want to scroll down, and we'd love you to be on the podcast too. And he's doing a lot of stuff with the community Pay It Forward. We also would love to introduce you to Zach Clayton and get you awareness on his projects. So again, we met a lot of these great people through the Happy Neighborhood projects, and we're still going strong, especially for the first initiative, Veterans Day. That is next Saturday, June 7th. We'll be watching live, but that's Santa Papa John, and we got him on the website as well. And oh my gosh, there we are, the World of Ability podcast. So anybody who wants to be on the podcast, you can sign up. There's Kurt, Omar Service, and there's our World of Ability host and podcast engineer, Emily Gomer. And Sue Roscoff, thank you so much. And Sue also has a radio show on Wednesdays, Milwaukee radio show. And there's Trevor Gibbs right there, the web detective. We have him on there as well. And I just named the duck that's floating in my pool with a thermometer Gibbs, and I sent him a picture in honor of him. So we have good things that are happening. And that was the Acts of Kindness series team with Dr. Liddy, who I met, who's federally trademarking the Acts of Kindness series. So a lot of the groundwork is done. We hope to let it shine on Brave Hearts Television, and we are seeking sponsors to do that. So go out and play is our tagline. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. So Sue, I don't know if you want to play a video trailer too, and then we can roll over to one of the videos with Ocean Cleanup, Boynton Slat, educational, whatever works for you, whatever's on your roll. And Kurt, you want to again update us on the Veterans First Initiative? I've been talking a little bit more here, but we got people joining us, and we're coming into the second hour here. And we have other people joining us. So do you want to say anything more about next week?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Marianne. And thank you, Bruce, for being here again. You're part of the family now, so you're committed. So, but with Veterans First Initiative, that's a development that came from People for a New America that has 10 different objectives, including their Veteran Division, Veteran Committee. But in my visiting
Oh, froze
Oh,
up for just a moment there.
your voice stopped.
Frozen. So
Frozen.
yeah, he'll be back in a second here, but yeah, the Veterans First Committee with People for a New America. I can actually pull up. Oh, I think he's back. He's unfrozen. Go ahead and continue. I can pull up the website while you're there. So
Yeah, so we have Richie Inori, who's a world-class drummer, a multi-platinum artist, and attracting other multi-platinum artists. And so some people out there might know about the song "The Ballroom Blitz." And, out in the TikTok land and so forth, there's a challenge, the Ballroom Blitz Challenge. So a lot of exciting star power behind what's going on here. You see Willie Chambers. So what we're doing here is we're taking the mission of People for a New America, and that is one mission: heal our nation. And so, really, in terms of proof of concept, we've got proof of concept of a Unity, Peace, and Freedom Music Festival, which was conducted last October, and it has been put into the history books as the birth of the movement. And so, this is the Solution Revolution. And we're putting it all as a wraparound with the veterans community and also with the Veterans First Initiative to really bring out the leadership from our veterans, to let the veterans come out and share their stories and share their experiences as veterans and create the intergenerational experience to really let the voice of veterans be heard by the youth of our nation and the youth of the world. And the concept of People for a New America is Woodstock meets We Are the World. And so there's a lot behind this, a lot going on. The Disability Channel kicks us off out of Toronto, moving over to Illinois, where we have the Ford Operating Base Rush, in McCann, Illinois, with Project diehard, and then Connect to Your City, an enterprise out of Phoenix, Arizona, which is giving us a platform, watchlivenow.net, which will have a video player showing you all the action of the telethon. And then the finale of the telethon, Saturday, June 7th, between the hours of 3 to 5 Pacific time. It'll be a party, by Richie Inori and the crew. You're not going to want to miss it. A lot of names and bands and music performances that are just ever so enjoyable. It's going to make the whole thing really electric. And we're attracting other events already where people are popping up local events in devotion of veterans. So these areas that we designate are just an example. This is just a prototype. This is just a Kickstarter, a fire starter. And so what's happening here is this is going to be a demonstration about how every citizen and people around the world can come in and we can really show devotion to a societal issue. Like with Project Die Hard, we combat veteran suicide by spreading hope to veterans. We have a ridiculous count of veterans who are homeless and just so many issues. People commenting all the time about, our veteran clinics and the VA hospitals and just so much that can be done. So this is a collective impact initiative. And so we're going to be buying gift cards, handing gift cards to veterans and saying, hey, veteran, thank you for what you've done for our country and the world. Go and get what you need. Here's a gift card. Please take care of yourself. And we're going to have Project Die Hard making improvements at the forward operating base Rush. So capital funding for remodeling so it can be an overnight facility, overnight stay so families can stay for up to a year, so as needed. Any short-term, one night, overnighter, whatever it is. Again, McCann, Illinois. And then we're going to have the Disability Channel providing that education of the media industry and so many other skills for people to expand and expound upon their career and really open up a lot of doors. And we're going to do that with veterans like the world has never seen before. The Disability Channel has a track record of over a decade serving Canada. And so the Canadian administration is very excited to see this Can-Am dynamic come into what they've been partnered in for a decade and to really shake up America and say, let's do this. Let's do this for our veterans. That's what it's all about. Back to the rest of you.
All right, well, should we well, I've got it up here. I'll go ahead and play the trailer or not the trailer, the promo piece that's on here. So let me go ahead and share this.
We want everybody to tune in and watch this incredible event. Willie Chambers, June 7th, the Vets Telethon. Be sure you check out.
So that is one of the promo pieces that they put together. They've got a couple more with some other big names as well. But it's kind of fun to see the star power behind what they've all got going on. I know there's a lot of people working very hard in the background to make all the pieces come together. And I know we will be here next week, right here, helping out and doing what we can. We'll have a watch party going on live on this Zoom, and we'll actually be doing the live broadcast. You saw it said Chicago as one of the locations. That's actually our piece of the puzzle. We'll be hosting that and bringing everybody in and out and having a great time. It's going to be good. I'm really, really looking forward to what all comes from this. It's going to be a great day, and a lot of good things are going to blossom from that. So I do also have, let's see, I know you had sent some other trailers my way.
Yes, I sent you the Underwater Acts of Kindness trailer, and behind me is Underwater Acts of Kindness. Again, we'll be giving a free download of the ebook on that day. It's called Underwater Acts of Kindness. Now, it features Noah the hard-of-hearing whale, who's recruited to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. And you'll meet the general of the New Earth Army. So, again, through Fiverr, I was able to share my story now on these new book trailers. And Sue, if you could be so kind to go out and play it right now, that will share our story. And again, we're getting a free download on that June 7th, First Initiative Day.
Okay, so I have in front of me the one that says everything we know about ocean plastic pollution so far. Would you like to do that one or one of the others?
No, the book trailer, Underwater Acts of Kindness.
All right.
And then we'll do the ocean cleanup. We'll do the plastics in the second part of the show, and we'll have Leanne come in and talk about clean water. And again, this first hour, we've been grateful to talk about the first initiative. We're going to continue to do that. But after June 7th, June 8th is the ocean cleanup, World Ocean Cleanup Day. We want to highlight them in Boynton Slat. So this video is dedicated to him and the book trailer and the book.
Set sail with underwater acts of kindness. Join Noah, the hard-of-hearing humpback whale, and his marine friends as they take on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. On their journey between Hawaii and California, they discover an enormous pile of plastic, but with teamwork and courage, they plan to clean it up. With the guidance of Dod General of the New Earth Army, they rally ocean creatures and you to help restore our seas. Now available on Amazon Audible, listen as author Marianne of Waikiki narrates this inspiring adventure, featuring mesmerizing music by Lucy and the Perfect Wave and Nick's guitar, echoing the sounds of whales and dolphins. This book is dedicated to Boyan Slat, founder of The Ocean Cleanup, making waves for a cleaner future. Sing along with Noah's song and dive into a world of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. After reading, visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel for more adventures. Learn the ASL ABCS with Dr. Fingers, the fingerspelling hermit crab on YouTube, kids. Get coloring books now at www.actsofkindnessseries.com and Amazon. Plus, grab your New Earth Army t-shirt and pledge to protect our planet. Underwater Acts of Kindness by Marianne of Waikiki. Available now on Amazon, Audible, and actsofkindnessseries.com.
Nyla, you okay?
There we go.
What are you doing?
All right. So we have the pleasure of getting to see all the good things that you've got going on there with that video. So did you want to play another one right away, or what would you have in mind?
I heard another guest. Is there somebody else joining us? We'd like to share the new guest.
Let's see. I believe Andeline is in the background here. Are you at a place that you're ready to join us? How are you doing, Andeline?
I'm good. I'm here.
Excellent. Let me just bring you to the front. Oh, hang on. Technical difficulties. Sorry. I'm coming.
It's okay.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Well, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, remind everybody who you are and all the wonderful things you do.
So my name is Andeline Gray, and I'm an executive chef. My business is called the Maroon Cafe. Slogan is health and happiness on a plate, Jamaican, Italian, and French infusion. And I'm also a proud member, extremely proud member of Project Die Hard as well, where my trailer, once I launch, is going to be specifically a specific entrance dedicated to our veterans and people with disability, which I'm absolutely proud of. And also, we are going to be employing veterans as well on this truck. So it's something that I'm really proud of. I can't wait to start.
Excellent. And I know you are going to be participating with us as well next week with the telethon.
Yes.
You want to give us a little sneak peek of what you're all going to be doing?
So I will be doing a cooking segment on the telethon, live cooking segment in my own kitchen, basically. So I was going to be doing it in front of a screen, but I'm just going to do it live in my kitchen so everybody can see where I do all what I do when I'm doing it. So it's going to be live in my kitchen.
Excellent.
So
And
I
make
have a
us
quick
all drool.
question for you. Since we're going to be watchers, so what should we gather at our own kitchen so we can cook along with you next week?
Oh, that's a good question.
I want to cook
If you
along
have-
with you. I want to cook along
If-
with you.
If you have some beef strips, that's what I can tell you, and some sweet peppers, your own powder seasoning and stuff, fresh seasoning and stuff like that, you can be able to cook along with me with your oils.
Let's get the creative out here. I don't have any Jamaican Me Crazy seasoning, but I'm in
You
Mexico.
don't have to. You don't
It's
have
all
to have
hot sauce
Jamaican.
down here. It's all hot sauce.
You don't have to have your own Jamaican seasoning. You can use your own seasoning and follow along and get result just the same as what I'll be doing with what I'm using.
Okay. Also,
Yeah.
what else do we need? What else do we need? I'm in the kitchen right now. What else do we need?
Well, you need When I say peppers, I mean like your sweet peppers. If you have sweet peppers, if you have your onions, your thyme, your garlic, your green onions, those are stuff that you'll be needing.
Garlic. Green
Getting it all
onions.
together now. I love it.
Green onions, just in case. This is a visual thing. Some people don't,
Yes, that's what you
understand.
need as
And
well.
I'm going to
Yeah.
share with you too. When I was taking sign language classes at the Lansing Community College, we had to make a dish and we had to share it with everybody. So we had to sit there and sign 1/4 cup sugar, 1/4 cup milk. So this is all good because some people don't know what these vegetables are, and I'm learning Spanish, so this is cebolla. And so yes, so what else do we need? I got the
So I'll be
peppers.
telling
I
you,
got the peppers.
yes. So basically, everything that I just explained that you need, and a little bit of oil. I would say like a 1/4 cup of oil.
Okay.
She is ready.
Very
Love
fun.
it.
And meat, right? Carne.
Yes, and meat. You don't have to. If you don't have steak, you don't have to use steak. You can use chicken strips as well, and yeah, you can use that as well.
Okay, so it's a healthy dish then. Is there a
Yes.
side dish? Do we doing potatoes, papas, rice? Rolls?
Well, I'll be doing Jamaican rice and peas with coconut
Ooh,
milk.
rice and peas. Okay, let's write that down. Am I making you hungry, Kurt? It's gonna be
Jamaican
great.
me hungry.
You're
Jamaican me.
making me hungry.
That's going to be wonderful. And I know we'll have your time split into segments so that we can keep coming back and seeing the progress. And
Yes, so but you won't see me cook the rice and peas on the live because that's going to take a little bit of time. But I will show you when I'm plating and stuff. It will be on the side of the plate. If not, push come to shove, as we would say back home. It most likely would be brown rice. You can even have that too. So it's either that I'm going to be doing or brown rice.
excellent. Oh,
Yeah.
this is going to be a fun day. We're going to have all sorts of different people joining us. We'll have some music going on. We'll have a cooking demo going on. We'll be talking to lots and lots of different people from a lot of them from around the Happy Neighborhood Project, but all of them related to things that are happening with Project Die Hard. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be great. And as you know, as I said before, what are we here for? We should not forget what the real reason why we're doing this, and this is for the veterans. That's the real reason. You know, forget about me being cooking. Yes, I know everybody probably want to see me cook, but yeah, but put that a little bit on the back burner because that's not really what we're really here for. Yes, come and watch me, no problem. But what we're really here for is for the veterans, and that's the most important thing. That is exactly what the purpose is. Yeah.
Awesome. That's perfect. And within the group, I'm thrilled that we do have a veteran in the house here too. With Bruce, I'm glad to hear that you were able to bring experience in and get to do what you love with the birds. And I'm kind of curious and I'm guessing you may have already talked about this, but I think I've missed some of the backstory of how it all began. What got you started with your business with the birds?
It wasn't too difficult. I moved here from Chicago, which is a big difference, and
Yep.
a guy that had a couple in Waikiki that was sharing them with the tourists. And I was always impressed by large macaws when I was a kid, but Chicago is really not the place to have one. And I fell in love with these birds and got acquainted with this guy. Rich Miano, and just started helping him out, and then grew into my own business, you know. And so he passed away a few years ago, and I'm carrying on his legacy. Probably, I don't know, but no, it's my own legacy. But I just think they're kind of interesting animals, and I'm turning them into a profit. So I'm making money. They're paying the bills, helping me pay the bills, and
Earning their keep.
the what?
They're earning their keep.
They're earning their keeps, right? So no
Do you
no
have any
problem.
nearby where you're sitting right now?
I could go outside.
Are they
Uh,
outside? Okay.
I'm in my office right now, but they're just right here. My original, my main guy is Sky. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're on TV. This guy, you see him?
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Ah, stop that. Not on camera, on keepers. They get a little attitude sometimes, especially this guy. But so he's a hyacinth macaw. They eat macadamia nuts, and these things are the toughest nut on the island or anywhere. The macadamia nut. Give it to him. Watch this guy eat this nut. How's the lighting? Is the lighting all right? Can you see him?
I can see him.
Hey, come on, come on, come on. You're on TV. Let's
He's
go.
being camera shy.
Yeah. He normally isn't.
He's beautiful.
Now you need a sledgehammer to break this thing. So watch this. 1, 2, 3. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go.
Break right on through.
There he goes.
Wow.
No problem. Did you catch that?
Amazing.
So he'll devour that. And then if I go over here to the next one, I got them in all colors. This is Rasta.
Oh,
Excuse
Say
me,
hello.
folks.
Say hello.
you're good.
Hello.
So pretty.
Please say hello. Come on, making a liar on me. Come on. He's saying there's something up. What are you up to? So,
It's like, I hear
so
voices,
he's a
but I don't
green
see
wing
them.
macaw. Green wing macaw. And then I don't know if that's not enough. I mean, just locally, so I got like little finches that they're right out my window. I get to watch them. I like to see them. Interesting to watch. I don't put them on my finger or anything. Then I can go in the back room and show you a bunch of babies, but I don't know if you're interested in that. But staying out of trouble, keeping me busy.
Oh,
What can I
love
ask?
it.
Now, where
And I
are you
got-
going to be next week? Where are you going to be next week at the Blaisdell? What time to what time? And how do we get a hold of you?
I'm at the God. I wish I could.
Okay.
So look at
Adeline, do you want to share your website as well? How do we get a hold of you?
I think she said she will be right back. And I said, oh, there we go. Go ahead. What is your website?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
Bathroom break.
It's allowed.
So share with us your
yes.
website and how we can get a hold of you and where you're going to be at on First Initiative doing the cooking. And I know I've introduced you and Bruce to Trevor Gibbs, the web detective, to help with websites, and also Let's Go grants for doing research, because a lot of small businesses can get grant funding. And again, I was an Awesome Grant Foundation winner, and I told Bruce about it. He applied because he goes to senior citizens' homes, and it's a great project. So there's a lot of grant funding out there with Let's Go Grant. So how do we get a hold of you, and where are you going to be next week?
You can get a hold of me through my email, which is the Maroon Cafe. I'll put it in the chat for you. The Maroon Cafe, meal to go at outlook.com. That's where you can get a hold of me.
So how
Let me
did you
put
come
that
up with the
there.
name, the Maroon Cafe, Maroon? How did you come
So
up
the
with that?
Maroon is a tribe. Um, ooh, 1 second. I'm close to the highway. That's why. So I'm sorry about that. So the Maroon is a tribe from Jamaica, which is a close link to my ancestors. Which is the Maroons is really some famous people from back in the 18th century. So they're the creator of jerk chicken, if you ever heard of it. So they used to do that. The first time they did it was that in the 18th century, and how they did it was with a wild boar. So they take one of the main ingredients was pimento. So they would dig a hole in the ground because it was up in the mountain. They were running from the British. So what they would do, dig a hole, build a fire on the ground, and they would put the meat under their seasoning, of course, on top of pimento wood and sweet wood, which is some of these wood are mainly used today that they use to put jerk meat on. Still practiced the same way. And what they would do, they will take the pimento leaf and cover it, and then they'll put the dirt on top just to make sure that there's no smoke. And the reason why they do that, so that the British will not find them and know where they are while they're up into the mountains. And that was also a way for them to cook the food back in those days as well, because back in those days there was no fridge, nothing of that sort. So the meat will stay fresh longer if they do it like that. It's some sort of like between like smoking and baking techniques, I I should say. So that makes the flavor in the meat penetrates a lot more, and also makes it stay fresh longer. So yeah, my great great grandfather was one of the Maroons as well. Great 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 grandfather was one of the original Maroons as well from that time. So this is how I came up with the name, the Maroon Cafe. So it will not only have a personal tie, but a tie of history as well. And
Right.
by the way, and the leader of the Maroons was a woman, and she was one of the most powerful women in Jamaica at that time. Her name was Nanny of the Maroon. So I'm just going to give a little backstory. I don't know if you see the technique that the soldiers use nowadays, where they crawl on their belly with the gun and stuff like that. That came from her. She created that technique.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of people don't know. The story was never told. Nobody don't know about that. So yeah. So I'm showing you, she was a really powerful woman because she organized all those men in the 18th century, protect all the Maroons back then with all of her technique and her strategy, I should say. So to keep them safe, they're the women's in the village and the children from the British. She ended up killing almost over 500,000 British soldier
Wow.
based on her techniques alone, saving her village and the people that lived there at the time, because the British wanted to capture them, as you know, back in those days for slavery sort of stuff. Yes, so she's a big deal. So, and the Maroons are now still just the same practice. They're in Jamaica. Millions of people come every year and visit their compound. It's called the compound town, to visit them to see how they live, because they still have some of the same practices. And that's how Patois came to be, Jamaican language, because they wanted to speak um, in a way that they didn't want it to be understood by anyone else if they're talking out their strategies and all of that.
Wow. I love it.
Yes.
Bit of history here. I did not know any of that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Wow. And
Yes.
you still have a lot of family back in Jamaica?
I
No.
do. Some family, but most are all over the place. All over the place.
That's the
Right
way
now.
it's working these days, isn't it? Everybody's everywhere. The world is much smaller than it used to be.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
it's everywhere.
Hmm?
I'm sorry?
oh, who, me? I've been to Jamaica. I loved it. It was interesting. Did it?
Yes.
Am I
So,
getting through?
Yeah.
yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
I just had to say that.
Have you been there more than once?
No, just once. I went there with my 6-year-old boy, and it was kind of nice, father and son thing. Went to Bob Marley's gravesite and home, and didn't go to Kingston or anything, but we stayed at oh God, I forget where we stayed. But I took a taxi and drove around the place. It was kind of scary, but very exciting. But I had a good time in Jamaica.
Yeah, we
I
were
like
there
Bob Marley.
once.
What?
You like, go
It's
ahead, say that
okay.
again.
Jamaica is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bob
once
Marley.
upon a time, years ago, we had been on a cruise, and then one of the stops was Jamaica. And I'm trying to remember, Kurt, you might have to refresh my memory, but I think that was, oh, there you go. That's where you got that hat. That was where, I believe that's where we climbed up a waterfall. Does that sound like a tourist thing that they have there?
Yeah, yeah.
Kurt,
So,
freedom of
Yes.
service right there on the spot. You're making me crazy.
mhm. Yeah, what it was, some friends called you instead of Kurt Roskoff when he puts that on, he's Kurt Rostikoff.
That's funny.
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
It's his daytime.
Cool.
What time is it?
It's his daytime.
Yeah, that was my favorite line of the entire ship ride that we had. The entire cruise was one of the guys who was coming around to see if we need anything, and we were interested in maybe going to see something. I don't know, there was some event going on board the ship, and he had the beautiful Jamaican accent, and we had asked him, "What time is it?" And he looked at us and he looked around. He's like, "It is daytime." You know, like, what more do you need, right? It is daytime.
5
Yep.
o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
That's another story.
All you need to know.
Very good. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, because they don't look at time like you guys look at time or pay attention to time as you guys do.
Yeah, it's like we were on a
It's more
schedule. We had
relaxed
stuff that we
basis.
were gonna go do, and he's like, he put the perspective back in because that was what 25 years ago that we had that guy. I still remember that moment. I remember where we were. I remember the ship. I remember it was a gorgeous day. I remember him standing there with the tray in one hand, and yeah. He has no idea that how many times I've talked about that moment, and it's like, oh, yeah.
So you got that hat and hair 25 years ago, and you have it at your fingertips so close, and still got it. That's
Right.
amazing. That's
Amazing.
amazing.
Got it, Bruce. I'm a strange bird.
That's too cool. You must have it hanging up somewhere.
Right here on my little cubby. I got my little Curdy cubby over here.
So good. Interesting.
There might be maybe a Dr. Seuss hat handy. I'm not sure what all is still over there. Yeah, there's a couple of fun ones in the mix.
Actually, it's been 25 years about that I went there. My son was,
Really?
now he's actually maybe 30 years. He's 36 now. So I still remember it like it was yesterday almost. You know, not too bad. And I got bad memory. So amazing.
It was
Sure.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was yeah, it was interesting. More interesting than beautiful. But cool. I'm impressed. I don't think I'll be back. I don't need to, but Bob
Seen
Marley.
it.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yep.
Okay. It was-
Nyla?
When we visited, it was only for just a short
I was
time.
wondering,
okay.
so I was wondering if we could roll into this end of the latter part of the show for ocean cleanup. Again, Boynton's Flat, his organization is being recognized on June 8th. We have a new video from him. It's about 7 minutes, but it's very educational. And in 2016, I wrote the book Underwater Acts of Kindness, recognizing all this garbage floating around my sailboat and wanted to know why. He's doing amazing work. So Sue, if you could so go out and play the video, this is brand new. So this is all good information that I'm learning, as well as you guys. And then we hope to have Leon McLaughlin coming, talking about airline ambassadors. I sent you, Sue, his new updates with the website, with the new chief executive officer for Clean Water Foundation. So good things are happening. We're uplifting in the world. And if you could be so kind to play this video here, it's about 7 minutes, I think, but it's educational. Again, ocean cleanup.
Is that
You can visit
Marianne
their
girl
website.
again? Is that
Huh?
Marianne girl again?
That's right. I look like Barbie. I just showed my hair to my landlord and she goes, "You look like Barbie." And I said, "I feel like Barbie."
I love it.
It's the summer look. It's the summer look because it's so hot. It's going to get dripping hot here.
All right,
Wow.
well, I put this video ready to go. If you guys want to strap on that seatbelt, sit back and enjoy the ride. Here we go.
Yep, take a break. Here we go. Thank you, Ocean Cleanup. Kurt Rostamon, cough.
Of the ocean. How does plastic end up here? And where does it go? Plastic is one of the largest threats our oceans face today. And over the past 10 years, our scientific understanding of the problem has evolved a lot. This is how we understand ocean plastic pollution today. Plastic is a cornerstone of our modern civilization. Every year, we produce more than 400 million tons of it. That's about the same as the weight of all human beings on planet Earth. The amount of plastic we're producing is growing exponentially, yet only a tiny fraction of it makes it to the ocean. Most of the plastic is only used briefly and discarded afterwards. The majority is
Guys, I have to go,
and
okay?
prevented from
I have
moving
to go.
around freely in the environment. More than half of it goes to landfills, and the rest is incinerated or recycled. However, about 20% is either not collected, improperly disposed of, or ends up as litter. Plastic usage and waste management infrastructures differ all over the world. People in high-income countries consume the most plastic, but the waste management systems there are usually effective. Whereas in many low-income countries, plastic consumption is low, meaning emissions remain low even if the waste management infrastructure is lacking. The majority of plastic emissions come from middle-income countries, whose plastic usage is growing, but that are lacking adequate waste management systems to deal with the increase in consumption. Most of the plastic stays on land. But let's say a bottle was left on a city street, close to a river. Suddenly, it starts raining heavily and the wind picks up. In these conditions, our bottle has a real chance of ending up in the river. During storms and other heavy rain events, plastic emissions can increase as much as tenfold. Rivers are the arteries that carry the plastic from land to sea. But not all plastic that ends up in rivers will make it to the ocean. Many plastic objects sink or get stuck in the river system. The closer the plastic is to a river, and the closer that river is to the ocean, the greater the chances that the plastic will reach the ocean. Therefore, coastal cities in middle-income countries are the world's plastic emissions hotspots. A recent study shows that 1,000 rivers worldwide represent almost 80% of plastic emissions into the oceans. So let's say our plastic bottle ended up in one of these rivers and is on its way out to sea. Most floating plastic doesn't stay in the ocean. About 80% will beach on a coastline within a month. Some of it may be washed out to sea again, but coastlines are the final resting place for most plastic that enters the oceans. This can have serious consequences for the coastal environment, the fishing and tourism industries, as well as resulting in heavy cleanup costs for coastal communities. Some plastics will stay afloat, but another fraction will sink, such as our PET bottle, for example. While the bottle itself sinks, the cap will stay afloat for much longer, polluting our coastal waters. It can take years for a plastic piece to break free from these coastal waters and be carried out to the open ocean. But once it's out there, it can stay there for a long, long time. Plastic accumulates in huge subtropic oceanic areas called gyres. Massive circular currents that trap the plastic for decades, if not centuries. There are 5 gyres in our oceans. The most polluted and best studied is the infamous Great Pacific Garbage Patch, located in the North Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and California. Today, around 100 million kilograms of plastic float in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, with a plastic count of about 1.8 trillion pieces dispersed over the ocean. The area of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is estimated to be twice the size of Texas. That's triple the size of France or Thailand. Rivers are the main source of ocean plastic pollution, but there is a second source: fishing gear. While most plastic in coastal waters comes from land-based sources, the garbage patches are different. In fact, about 80% of the plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch comes from fishing activities at sea. Fishing equipment lost or dumped at sea has a much higher chance of accumulating offshore because it is emitted away from coastlines, and fishing gear is designed to survive in the water for long periods. About 92% of the floating plastic mass in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch consists of larger objects. Only about 8% are microplastics. Plastic pollution doesn't go away by itself. The oldest pieces found date back to the 1960s. Degradation is very slow, but constant. So the largest objects are a ticking time bomb, breaking down over time and raising levels of microplastics exponentially. Animals often consume plastic particles, mistaking them for food. Not only is this incredibly damaging to the animals, but this allows toxic chemicals to enter the human food chain, potentially impacting the health of around 3 billion people who rely on seafood as their primary source of protein. Plastic pollution in the ocean is a planet-sized problem. As we've seen, every year more than 400 million tons of plastic is produced. However, less than 0.5% ends up in the ocean. Most plastics stay on land. Ocean plastic pollution is highly concentrated and comes from only a small number of possible leakage points. This is the best understanding of ocean plastic pollution to date. As research continues, with hundreds of scientists around the world working on this issue, we are bound to discover even more in the years to come. To learn more, visit theoceancleanup.com.
Yay, interesting.
Amazing.
Thank you, Sue, for sharing that. That was a new video that I received. You guys received the newsletter as well and shared it to Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation. So the good news is, I'm glad we won that awesome Grant Foundation Award to make sure the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind have a water unit. So they have clean, fresh drinking water, especially on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. And also the Red Hill Navy, 100,000 families were affected by contamination in the water tanks there and had to be relocated on the island. And children were affected at their schools. And so anyway, again, it's a good feeling. And thank you, Awesome Foundation Grant, for gifting us to hire Jay Stoyan again, who's going to be doing the First Initiative, who interviewed me with a book series last fall. And Santa Papa John will be on the First Initiative. And Kurt and Sue, you guys will be there next week. We'll be watching it. We'll be watching. And we'll be learning how to cook. I'm so excited for the good events that are going to be happening next Saturday. And again, the Ocean Cleanup is having their Ocean Cleanup Day awareness on June 8th. So that was a new video that they sent me. And again, we dedicated the book to Boynton Slat. So go out and play. I'm Marianne of Waikiki.
Awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. It's one of those things that if you don't know, if no one's ever told you it's a problem, you wouldn't know really, right? Because the fact that what did it say? Twice the size of Texas?
Oh
What?
yeah, France,
That's
France.
insane.
So I have a couple of questions for you, Sue, to bring in with Bruce also, who is on the island of Oahu. You're a biology instructor, professor. Tell us what you do and your students, because your students are educated to go over to a program in Hawaii. I believe at University of Manoa Valley. And tell us what you're doing to educate your students with. You got two Hawaiians here, but we originally from the Midwest, we made our transition and did our good work over there and continue to do it with the support of the World of Ability. But tell us about you and your students and them going to Hawaii. Maybe they'll meet Bruce the Bird Guy and Leon at the fundraiser in November, Coffee with a Cause. So we're networking all together here. Take it away, Sue.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually the lab coordinator at Carroll University in Waukesha, Wisconsin. And one of the majors that our students can choose is marine biology. And with that particular program, they do their first 2 years by us, and then they transfer to the University of Hawaii and finish their last 2 years there. So I know we've had students in the past that have gone that I've known. I don't know all of the ones that go. There's been several that have gone in the recent years here. And I can only imagine what an experience that is to be able to be living in Hawaii for those last 2 years of their programming. It sounds like a dream come true to me, to be able to be in the tropics and enjoy everything that the life there has to offer. Because Hawaii is a place that I have not yet been. So I've only seen pictures and I've heard stories, but it's a great program though to be able to have our students start by us and then to finish up over there. It's a good program, love it.
So what kind of career path then do they look forward to after graduation? Do they go to work for NOAA? Do they do research? What are some of the options? Do they go on the ships?
I'd say
These
all
ships
of the
like ocean
above.
cleanup?
Yeah, most of our students, I mean, it's a big variety. I've heard a lot of the ones that do participate in that are interested in some kind of an animal piece, an animal conservation kind of piece, and whether it's working with the dolphins or working with turtles, or I've heard several different stories. I don't know all the students that have gone, so I'm not sure what they all are focused in, but most are going to end up spending their career somewhere on a shoreline where they've got access to the ocean and the animals that are there. That I think a grand majority of our particular students are interested in the animal aspect and the marine life. And so, to the best of my knowledge, I know we've got a variety.
Awesome. So I just got word Leon McLaughlin will be joining us probably in about 10 minutes. So
Awesome.
we can shine a light more with him, and he's doing good stuff with Coffee with a Cause, Airline Ambassadors. I sent you the video, Sue, of the new website. I don't know if you're able to pull that up too right now. And they actually put my video that we created for Leon, Cool Acts of Kindness, onto the newsletter. So you could click on the video with Airline Ambassadors and watch the book trailer. How cool is that? So I don't know if you're able to upload that before he comes.
Yeah,
To at least shine.
the website here where it shows Rachel McDonald is the new Chief Marketing Officer for Clean Water Foundation.
Yes. Let's kind of scroll through that. I can go through that while he's going to be joining us and get that out to the world. So again, Bruce, is our creative ideas for websites here, and we want to make sure you're ADA compliant. That's American Disabilities compliant. If you're a business owner and not ADA compliant, you can receive up to a $75,000 fine. So you want to meet with the web detector, Trevor Gibbs, who we met through the Happy Neighborhood Projects. And I'm happy that Bruce is connecting with him as well to create the Bird Guys website with Hostinger. So we're bringing the prices down so that we can get our creative work out there. And again, Bruce will be at the Blaisdell next week. No, the end of June with the birds.
Middle of June, 14, 15.
All right, maybe we can somehow get a live show going there, Kurt and Sue. What do you think with the Bird Guide? Have them
That'd be
set it up.
amazing.
Have them set it up. Get an assistant there to come down and just set up the iPhone like we have it here, and we can see a live presentation at the Blaisdell of the bird guide. That would be a great show.
Well, I have all my birds, or a lot of my birds there.
Amazing. Yeah, and
Interesting.
that sounds so much fun. Oh my gosh. You know, birds, when I think about birds like what you have, what you're showing us, I gotta say, I still to this day, I remember being a little kid. Like, I don't know if I was kindergarten, first grade, somewhere in there. And at our local mall, they had somebody coming through with animals, with one, and a parrot was one of them. I remember it being a big, gorgeous red one, like what you were showing us. And I remember tarantulas. I don't remember. Those are the two that stand out in my head because part of what we could do was actually like my brother held the tarantula, and okay, me, I'm scared to death of spiders. I hate spiders, you know, and here he's holding a tarantula. So I ended up holding the parrot, and I remember the bird sitting on my arm, and it was, I mean, as a little kid, it was so heavy. It's like my arm was like falling, you know, it was angled down quite a bit because I could not hold it up that high because it was just, it was a heavy, at that time with my being a little kid like that, it was very heavy. And I still remember that. It was a very impactful moment that it was like, this is just the coolest thing ever to get to see something like this.
Sounds like a true story. That's what
Mhm.
happens. Yes. You're not making that up, I can tell.
It's fun because animals mean a lot to us, don't they? I mean, we've got our pets, we've got, you know, when we talk about community and all the things that affect us, animals are a big piece of our lives. Whether I know not everybody realizes it necessarily if you don't have a pet at home, but animals impact us so much. I mean, we've got a dog. Now, with the parrots, do you consider them pets? Do you consider them coworkers? What do you consider them?
All the above.
All the above.
I have 120 birds, roughly.
Wow, 120.
Some are just money makers, profit, breeders, and others are just to look at, and others are for work, co-workers.
Awesome.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. Yeah, there's some that are pets, just like family.
Mm-hmm. And what is the lifespan of like those big parrots? How long do those tend to
If
live?
taken care of, they can live 100 years, the macaws.
Really?
Usually 80 is the roundabout. Yeah, they live a lot longer in captivity than they do out in the wild because there's no bad elements and predators or anything like that. But and then a little bird like a cockatiel, you know, people say, "Oh God, I had this thing for 20 years." Well, that's way over their life expectancy. Usually 12 is a normal for a cockatiel. So the smaller the bird, the less their life. Bigger bird, the longer their life. And the middle ones are just right in between, 50 years. I have cockatoos, African grays, eclectuses, and Amazons, and lovebirds, and Indian ringnecks, and all kinds of cockatoos from all over the world. You know, Indonesia and Australia and stuff like that, South America. So I don't know. I got a variety. I do schools too, you know, and old folks' homes, yeah. And so I like to have a variety, different colors with all their feathers. You know, these people that have birds and they start plucking, that means their diet is bad or they're stressed out all the time or not happy campers. So they pluck their feathers out. And I can't put a plucked feather on a person or even, well, I can display it, I guess, but that's kind of embarrassing. Have a bird that looks like hell. But all mine are fully feathered and nice, ready for action.
Beautiful. So if there is somebody out there that ever was considering adopting a bird like that, what would be the best advice you could give, or where do they start? How do they go about that? What do they need to
Well,
be
for one
prepared
guy,
for?
he called me today and he says he wants a macaw. For right off the bat, I know the macaw is not for him because he doesn't even know how to say it, you know?
Yep.
And then people that come to ask for a bird, they just want a bird that's going to stand your finger and talk. And, I say you need one of those wind up things, or a string that they come with a string and you pull it. They don't know two bits of the knowledge that it takes to take care of a bird. They just assume that it's just going to stay in the cage and come out and stay on your finger and talk when you want it to. So I just almost basically hang up on those kind of people. The guy thought I was kind of rude. Maybe I am, but I said, first you need to know about the bird. He didn't even know. Uh-oh, recording stopped. I don't know what that means, but
It's all good. I'm assuming it was one of the AIs in the background. So go ahead.
okay, but so I don't know. That's first they need to be educated, and then people come here to my house and see some babies that I have for sale for rehoming, and they get so confused because they see all the other birds and they don't know what they want. Then they get so confused. Oh, I want one of those. I want one of those. I want one of those. They vary from anywhere from 100 to $10,000. So budget is a big factor, I'm sure, too, for a lot of people. So, but anyway, I got Indian ringnecks and sun conures and green cheek conures and Alexandrian parakeets for sale right now. But and they vary in prices. And they're hand fed, so they're real touchable and they're non-biteable, but which is a good start. And then it's up to them to spend time with it and talk story with it and try to get them to talk and stay on your finger like they want. But they don't just come born that way.
You got to work with them.
You got to work with them. And some people, busy schedule, they don't have time, and it's crazy. But I don't know. I'm not hurting for money or anything. I'm not desperate to sell them. You're supposed to say rehome them anyway, but sell them, that sounds so whatever. But I put them on Craigslist, and you're not supposed to put a price on it because then you get flagged and stuff like that. You can't sell birds, but you got to rehome or sell the cage and the bird comes free. So
there's always a way.
there's always a secret to get around everything, I guess. But yeah, the cage is $1,000, but the bird is free. So
But I like that you have the best interest of the bird in mind because you have to, you got to be able to trust who is taking that bird home and that they're going to be an appropriate home, taking good care of them, not abusing them or neglecting them. They have to be a good fit. And if people don't know what they're walking into, then it's, that's a problem.
well, people buy birds and then they call me back about a month later or something. Oh, it flew out the window. They're stupid, they don't clip the birds. I usually clip them before they leave the house, so they can adjust to their new environment. And then if the wings start growing, which they always do, then they stick around if they like it. If they're not happy campers, they always got the door. But people are so stupid nowadays, or not everybody, but there's a couple. Whatever. I'll keep my comments to myself. But they forget that they got the bird on their shoulder. They go outside and the bird takes off, But or on the other thing, they take them to bed with them and then they roll over them and kill them that way. Or the dog gets them, or the cat or something. It never fails. People just don't seem to have proper knowledge for owning a bird. And then they got to feed them properly. You don't smoke, you don't blow smoke in their face, or stuff like that. Some people like to see the bird get high. I know somebody that tried doing that and killed the bird. You got
They're
two
not built for that.
sons. Yeah, he went to see Bob Marley or something, and but there's proper things that some things you're not allowed to give to a bird, like avocado, chocolate, alcohol, and a lot of miscellaneous things like that. But usually any table scrap, but no less salt, stuff like that. But it's pretty easy to take care of a bird, but if you have basic knowledge. So what can they don't come with instructions. I just assume people have some kind of basic knowledge, but be surprised. They just want a bird. They just look so good. And it takes more than just paying for it and putting it in a cage and watering it and stuff like that. So what can
Yeah.
I?
Yeah, any creature takes some effort, and if you want them to have a good attitude and be happy, you got to take care of them. It's like having we've got a dog. If you forget to feed them, that's a problem. Or if you don't train them well, they're gonna be jumping on people or being rude or biting, whatever. You gotta take care of them. They know. Animals know more than we think they do. They know very well who they like, who they don't, and why. And
Yeah.
if the dog doesn't like somebody, I look twice at what's going on here.
Yeah, they
They
know.
have an
No.
instinct. Yeah,
I have a flyer. Can I share it with you? It's just
sure.
I this shuffling around my desk and I saw this, and this is how do you do this? Oh wait, reverse? No, I don't know. Whatever. Does that catch up? Oh, wait a minute. How do you do it? Can you reverse this?
There should be a button on there that looks like a camera with a little kind of a circle in the middle of it with an arrow, a circle arrow. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Stop video, mute.
Probably right on your camera itself. There's let's see. Ooh, and actually,
Sometimes you can just double tap the screen and it'll reverse it.
I can check on mine here in a moment. Kurt, you'll have to remind me. We're just getting a call from our adaptive skiing friends from Burlington, so I'll have to call him back when we're done here.
All right.
I'm sure he's checking in about next weekend because actually it's adaptive skiing time. While you're working on getting that camera turned around, I can quick mention that we have our first adaptive ski event this coming Friday already. So we've got the big telethons on Saturday, but you know what? We got to be ready ahead of time because Friday we're on the water all day and doing some adaptive water skiing. So if the season is upon us. Let me see if yeah, did you find the key for getting that turned around?
No, negative. I'm kind of brain dead when it comes to technology, I think. But
It's all good. Well, if you want to
That's
just aim the phone at it, there you go.
that's just does that show?
Yeah. Birds at your
They-
party.
You see those kids in there, and
Yeah.
so that's basically my thing.
Oh, those birds, they're beautiful.
Oh yeah. All right,
Who's the big one on top there that you're featuring?
Guy. That's the one you just. I've
It's the one that we got to meet. I
yeah.
love it.
He's my original, but I got
Okay, how old is he?
he's about 24. And I got another one about the same age, two boys. I need a female, but I'm not ready. But I heard that if I'm gonna hook up my red one and the blue one, and if they made babies, which they can, it'd be hybrids, but that end up blue is more dominant than red. So the babies would probably be all blue. So it would be probably a $5,000 baby. So if they have
Wow.
babies, so that will pay the seed and the nuts and everything for a year or two.
That's nice.
So it's kind of nice. But what I do, I get attached to them and don't want to sell them, and that's not. I got to learn how to break the habit of that.
That's
You know?
so hard.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, but it's all good. I'm not complaining. They're paying my bills, and I'm happy with it.
Awesome.
I don't know if you want to see my babies at all, do you? Or have
I
any?
would love to. I'm an animal freak. I love animals. So yeah, I would love to.
I don't know if you want. I could run to the back room real quickly here. Oh, there's the dog. Oh, here's two. Here's a fellow green cheek baby. I'm hand
Aw.
feeding this.
Beautiful.
This is the son Con. They're still babies, so they look a little rough. You see that? So
Yeah.
use a syringe like this to feed them. No formula and slot it down their throat. And these guys here,
Oh my goodness.
Cockatiel and a son Tanya, they're really good buddies together. Uh-oh, yeah, there he is. He's on my shoulder somewhere. I feel him somewhere. These are tall Indian ringnecks or
Oh, I think you're frozen. Frozen on a bird.
Hurry, hurry, come say hello.
Oh my,
You see that guy?
yeah.
I hope the lighting's okay. I don't have it all up. He's kind of cute. And more cockatiels up here.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know. Just basic, same. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, I guess. But I can go outside and show you. Got like quick here. All around the house, I got birds. This guy, African gray. So down in my arms again. So some kind of tricks I do with them. And I can go all around the house next week, maybe if you want. Here, sometimes this bird is the proper one to have. You know, but like kids are scared of them. So that's it. What can I say?
I love it.
But I'm happy. Birds are cool.
Birds are fun. Yeah, at work right now, well, we have not had birds. I don't know that we would. We actually are on the other end of the spectrum here, where right now we've got some little lizards, we've got toads, we've got some other kind of critters that, believe it or not, are a lot of fun. Never would have said that till I had the chance to work with them. Their critters are so fun.
Snakes are kind of crazy, but there's some people that really love them.
Mm-hmm.
Fond with snakes, or spiders and tarantulas and stuff like that. Yeah. But we got a lot of lizards here, and I can tolerate them pretty good. They eat bugs, and that's good
That's a good thing.
about them. But they got the chameleons and the Jacksons over here, and geckos, certain geckos. But yeah, cockroaches too. When in Hawaii, you can't get rid of them. Tropical.
We actually, believe it or not, have some of the hissing cockroaches at work too. So not my favorite, but they're kind of cool, kind of.
I don't know. Beware. But my
As
wife,
long as they stay contained, that's it.
yeah. As long as there's not too many, one or two you can handle, but they get infested. My wife is Japanese, and she doesn't like the sight of a cockroach. So I don't know. I say they don't have them in Japan. I don't know. I find that hard to believe. But what can I say? They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And they reproduce very, very quickly. Like very quickly. Like unbelievably quickly. So
yeah. Keep everything clean and you won't see too many of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if the next offspring, if we could name one Curdy Birdie.
Anything you want.
Curdy Birdie is the next offspring.
Is that one of your puppets' names?
No, that's our host here, Kurt Roskoff. So let's dedicate a next offspring bird to Curdy Birdie.
So, Curdy Birdie. Okay, I got it. Okay. Rasta Man.
Okay.
Yeah, Roskoff.
I got more nicknames than Nick, man.
Oh yeah. My gosh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Gotta love it.
What happened to Leon? I thought he's showing up.
Yeah, we're waiting here. So he's working on the funding project. So I just text him again. Let me just buzz him.
Awesome.
It's almost the time. 2 hours is a long time for me on the phone, boy. I swear it's not my norm, not a normal thing.
Well, this has been fun. We appreciate you sharing all the wonderful birds and the stories, and it's been I really enjoy it. So, speaking my language here.
Well, when you come out here, I'll give you the grand tour. It's usually about 45 minutes to an hour.
Awesome. Oh man. Okay, so on the wish list, that's actually Hawaii is one of those short list items. Just a matter of time, like everybody's issue, right? Time and money. When are you gonna do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I think so. I've been to the mainland. Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time. I went to Vegas not too long ago for a vacation. It was cold, wet, and rainy, but it was interesting. But you don't know how lucky you got it until you come back here. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I don't respect it the way I used to, but I should. It's nice coming back here and seeing beautiful skies and mountains and ocean and palm trees. I love the looks of palm trees. Can't see that in Chicago or
Nope.
those other places. But California, we went to visit. I lived there for 20 years too, but I don't miss that at all. Nothing beats Hawaii.
You're home.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you down here in San Carlos, it's same weather. I haven't
There you
seen
go.
rain. I haven't
Okay.
seen rain, but we might get rain on Sunday, which is kind of nice. And they really cleaned up the community. They spray painted the rocks into the marina, making it beautiful here. They have a San Francisco beach, and
And it's safe, huh?
according
It's a
according
safe
to
place to
the
be.
according to the Mexican president, she's going to be putting in a Malecon, a boardwalk, in the next 2 years down here. So it's going to be up in, I want to say more coming. It's just, I've been here now for a while with the sailboat. And a lot of people have come down from Phoenix or Denver. They come down here. This is their, island getaway, so to speak. A lot of fishing and, more affordable housing than Hawaii, I can tell you that. And very
And a
blessed to
safe
do.
place. It's a safe place.
Yes, I'm in a safe place. Well, yes, things happens everywhere. So
Yeah, right.
I stay home and stay safe. But there's a great group of networking people. And what I'm getting at, Bruce, is I met the president of the Parrot Heads, and there's several Parrot Head groups, and they fundraise. Actually, they party with a purpose, and they have people that come down in the winter months, and they have house parties, and they fundraise, and they are working on a Clean Water Foundation unit down here. So again, it's the Parrot Heads Party with a Purpose. So you can check them out, Bruce. You can maybe do a show for them too. So, and we just did last week, the Rotary Club had a fundraiser for seniors with hearing aids. And so we had a mix of, well, it's the Mexican community down here, and Canadians live down here, people from Phoenix, Americans. It's another melting pot down here, but they're still doing the good work. And I got to go live with Sue and Kirk because I was on the radio show, and I had the video recorder there with us, and got to show everybody there. And they are asking me to come back. Well, I hope to show the book videos and do some work down here as well. So it's amazing stuff what we can do on remote, Bruce. And so we're going to put you down on that calendar, Kurt. We're going to put him down on that calendar. So we're going to follow Bruce to the Blaisdell
Yeah.
for the bird guy. Bird
Sounds
We
good.
love
therapy.
it. You
Bird
guys are
therapy.
amazing. I know we actually are running up on the clock here. I think it's we were gonna go ahead and sign off for today. We are so grateful to have you guys joining us, sharing all the wonderful things. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one more reminder out for June 7th. So a week from today is that telethon. Be sure to tune in. You can show up here actually in this Zoom room and be part of the watch party for that. There are a lot of great things happening. And Marianne, Bruce, we're so grateful for you guys being here. Angeline was with us earlier as well. We are a community that has so many great things to celebrate. So thank you for celebrating with us. Thank you for bringing us things to celebrate as well. For Kurt and I here with World of Ability Podcast Network.